What's going on, people? Welcome back to another TV back again. And tonight I've got two usuals on my channel. We're going to talk about the season review. It's finished 7th this season, and it could be a lot better. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're 7th, no European football, and we should be winning games as well. So hi to Pete.
All right, John.
And thanks for coming on, and hi to Tony as well. And how are you, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad after watching Man City, the second, getting beat today.
Absolutely smashed.
Congratulations, Southampton. And hopefully this is the end of Ryan Fraser, especially after the interview. I don't know if you two saw it. The interview Russell Martin gave was a fantastic interview. And they questioned him about Ryan Fraser, and they said, how have you got him to play so well in tackling? He says, well, I know the wee man from my days at Scotland. He said, and he said he's had a tough couple of seasons. He says, so we've helped him out here. He said, and he's been absolutely fantastic. He said, I can't fault him one bit. And I thought, lovely. Please buy him in the summer. 10 million, get your Ryan Fraser.
Yeah. I think Southampton to pay that as well, man. I think they paid. It's got 1 year left on his contract, but 10 million is a different story. He's 29, so it'd be nice to get 10 mil, get him off the wage bill, bosh, and just see how it goes from there. So,
John.
Say again.
I think he still has 2 years. I think he's got till 2026. Ryan Fraser. But I will check it for you.
If you check it first, I'll just go through.
Yeah, I think he has got a couple of years left on his deal. It'd be nice if it was next year, but I can't see it.
We'll have to look. You keep that, and I'll just go through as well.
Yeah.
So if you like video like what you watch, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. And Super Chat is open if you'd like to donate. And if you'd like to become a member, it is just 99p. And if you're already a member, you can give out the gifts as well. So it could be 5 gifts, 10 gifts, couple gifts. It's up to you. If you're a member, then please just do your thing. And it works on Pete's and Tony's by the look of it, but help us out as well. That'd be brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. I've just been watching your Guesser World Championship. They are nuts. Hi to Ian. Hi to Tom Lynch. Hi to you. And also as well, this is being shared on my channel as well, on Pete's and also on Tony's as well. So if you're a regular, if you're on Tony's channel and Pete's channel, then please just come on and watch our channels as well. Thank you very much indeed for that. And 10 million as well for Ian. Right, let's go on to you, Pete. Season review, man. I mean, just before we go to these, hi to Lee. Hope you're well, mate. Thank you so much for joining as well. And so Pete, tough season for Newcastle. 30 games played, plus the Cups as well. Beat by Manchester City as well. And the Carabao Cup as well. We lost to Chelsea, thanks to Kieran Trippier's poor back header. So give us a little bit of your breakdown on the season we just had. Are you happy? Could have been better? Could have been frustrated?
I mean, to finish 7th, with what happened during the season in terms of with injuries and all of that, it's not too bad in a way. It just hits. We've not got Europe for next season. That's the problem. But again, possibly it's down to us. It's in a way we've got ourselves to blame for it. In a way, I mean, I think what it comes down to the final, the previous 2 games before the final game of the season, Brighton. We should be looking to win that. We should have looked to win that. If we had Pope and Joe Linton starting, we should have won that. We would have won that. The same with Manchester United away. Eddie completely got the team selection completely wrong, and that cost us 3 points altogether. We didn't get any. We lost that game, unfortunately. And the cup competitions. I mean, we should have beaten Chelsea. If Miggy had kept that ball in the corner, it just ran the clock down, we would have won that. But he did the wrong thing completely. And then what happens? Chelsea going up the other end and they go and score an equaliser, and we lose on penalties. FA Cup, Man City was going to be a big ask as well, considering the injuries we had in the team as well. So Eddie unfortunately had to revert 5 at the back, but I just wish We just wish we had a little bit of a go there, and we really, really didn't. That was the problem. So, as I mentioned, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. 7th, it's not a bad place to finish considering all the injuries we've had. Unfortunately, where Eddie's had to rely on other players at times as well. But we've really, in a way, got ourselves to blame. It's for points that we should be getting full points that we haven't in other games as well. As I mentioned, Brighton, Manchester United. I'm going to throw some other games in there. We shouldn't be getting beat off Nottingham Forest at home, of all teams. Luton, that shouldn't be a 4-4 draw. Bournemouth, we should be looking to win that, even though we didn't have a fit striker at the time. Our away form's been dross this season, 11 defeats out of 14. It's been one of the worst as well, unfortunately, this season. We've lost to teams like Luton away who just got promoted. We didn't even put up a fight down there. Yeah, it has been a tough season for us. Champions League, it was always going to be a big ask to get out that group stage. But it's just the league form. We shouldn't be relying on other teams to get us into Europe. We should have got some of those points. I think we've really shot ourselves foot in the 2 previous games before the final game of the season. So Brighton and Manchester United. I think we've really shot ourselves in the foot in that game.
Yeah, fact. Fact is, Pete, as well, right? I mean, yesterday, I looked on tweets yesterday and they said, cheer for Man City, like crazy, right? And I just took a step back. I just think, you know what? I'll say an out. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know what I didn't say an out? It's because, right, that we had it in our hands. We effed up. We dropped the ball. We messed it up, yeah? And the fact of the matter is, right, if you mess it up, right, you're in big trouble. And that's exactly what happened to us. Do you know what I mean? It just goes to show, right, you don't rely on other teams. You do it ourselves. And over the 38 games, and here's where the good part. Hi to Lawrence, by the way, and Douglas. Do follow Doug, Dugout Football channel as well. And hit that subscribe button. He's got a fantastic channel. Love the guy as well. So passionate Liverpool fan. Hi to Lawrence again. Hi to Lorraine. I hope you're well. And hi to Lynn as well. Hi to Alan. And Ian's made a good point as well. He said, you finish where you deserve. This season has shown our squad is nowhere near the level, which frustrates me. When I see people advocating good squad players, that means I need to get rid of the deadwood.
The deadwood has been found out this season now. It did okay times last season, but it's been really found out this season. And that's what we need to do. We need to get rid of it now, unfortunately. We've got to really push. The owners have got to push. Eddie's got to push as well to get the players who are not good enough out of this football club now. We need to get rid of them. They are not good enough for this football club anymore, and they need to be moved on. It's as simple as that. And please do not go and offer contracts to the likes of Paul Dummett and Matt Ritchie.
Yeah, absolutely right. Big up to Toon Army. Big up to you, my guy. Hope you well. Brian, I believe it's even spell force for us travelling fans next season. Not one team close to us. Burnley relegated. Leeds failed to get promoted. Southampton promoted. I'm only 2 hours away from there, but hopefully I can get a ticket for that game as well. I do apologise, guys, but Some's a good finish. But it's just frustrated that Man U underperformed in the league, but still got Europe by winning the FA Cup. Exactly. The fact of the matter is, I'm not going to lie, right? Let's be honest, that we couldn't get Europe because you've not been winning enough games. Exactly, Pete. We never lost the Euro place yesterday. It was lost mainly due to the way form. And no one was thinking about that. Exactly.
I mean, who do we lose to away from home?
Luton.
Man City. It was always going to be tough down there. Brighton, we never put up a fight. We got absolutely rolled over away to Brighton. I mean, Luton, that one really annoys me. One of the most. We didn't even put up a fight down at Kenilworth Road. We really did not put up a fight. Bournemouth away, we got absolutely over battled in that game. Spurs, we got absolutely demolished in that game as well. Everton away as well.
Yeah, exactly, Pete. Exactly. Us playing less games, we can get stronger and probably end up being fourth next season. Fewer of the games could be wins instead of draws. That's from Lee. I tell you what, Tony. Right? I mean, before we go on to that, right? Give us your little breakdown of the season we've had. Have you been frustrated? Could we have done a lot better? Have you shot ourselves in the foot? And Talk to him, man. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, we could have done a lot better than we have done.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, injuries have played a part, but you can't use them as an excuse. Not all the time, you know. Yes, we have been depleted, but there is games there we should have won. At the start of the season, we should have beaten Liverpool. We were 1-0 up over 10 men Liverpool. And then as soon as Eddie Howe stuffs up and takes off Tonali and Gordon, who were the two best players on the pitch that day, you saw the smile on Jurgen Klopp's face. He throws on Nunes. Nunes goes and scores 2. We lose the game 2-1. A game that we should never have lost. That's the difference between elite managers. You know, Eddie Howe may have thought, we're cruising, we can afford to take these two off. You know, you don't do that. And not especially against a team like Liverpool as well. So, you know, so there was a game there. We could, even if we'd got a draw out of that game. But look, there was teams like Bournemouth at home, 2-2. Luton, 4-4 at home. Everton, 1-1 when Dummett decided to be WWE wrestler, you know, pulling down Ashley Young in the box.
I mentioned that game as well. Good grief.
You know, that's, you know, so if you look at those 4 games there, or if you look at, and Brighton even as well, so if you look at 4 games there, so you're talking Brighton, Bournemouth, Luton, and Everton, you win them games, that's an extra 8 points. We probably would have finished 5th had we won those games. You know, and Tottenham would have been dumped into the Conference League next season. And, you know, and the thing is, Chelsea came on form at the right time. But, you know, we didn't. We had 3 games towards the end of the season to put it right. Starting at home to Brighton. That was a game we needed to win. And we failed to beat them. A poor Brighton side who weren't playing that well, let's be honest. There's obviously stuff going on in the background. Now De Zerbi's gone. We go to Man United. We've got Pope, who's 100% fit, sitting on the bench. Why is he not starting the game? Why is Joe Linton not starting that game? Yes, I get it. People are saying, oh, well, Joe Linton's come back from injury. So what? Who gives an actual F? At the end of the day, if he's on the bench, he's fit to play. Give him an hour. If he'd played for even 60 to 70 minutes, that would have been enough time for us to have won that game. Do you think Manu scores that first goal against Pope? Absolutely no chance whatsoever. Pope saves that. Does Hyland get the 3rd goal past Pope? Absolutely not. That'll be saved. Okay, the Diallo one, Pope might not get near it. Who knows? But there again, Pope may have. We don't know. But certainly for the first goal, it was piss poor from Dubravka yet again, who's been an absolute liability in that goal. You point to our away form, which has been absolutely dreadful. And look, our away form has been absolutely dreadful. Let's be honest. It's been absolutely awful. I mean, in the away table, we actually finished 11th place on 20 points. 6 wins, 2 draws, 11 defeats away from home. You want to get to Europe, that's not good enough. That's not good enough, right? Now, considering the home table, we are 4th in that. We are in Champions League spot in the home table. 12 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats. We scored 49 goals at home and conceded 22. Away from home, we've scored 36 goals and conceded 40, with a goal difference of -4. Now then, the thing is, what you've got to look at there is, that's where the problems are, the away form. But, yes, as I say, people will say it's gone down to injuries. But if Eddie Howe is still manager when the season starts, because we don't know, you know, England's going to come calling for him. Whether he goes or not, we do not know. He's in the talks of Chelsea as well, apparently. Well, he's not in talks with Chelsea, but Chelsea are discussing him in their boardroom alongside Thomas Frank, Kieran McKenna and all these managers. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute he's even going to jump ship and go to Chelsea, because I don't think he would, if I'm honest. But what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying this as in Eddie Howe's gone, but if he is here at the start of the next season, and we've spent a lot of players, he's under a serious amount of pressure, because if he gets off to a bad start, PIF will say, sorry, we've had enough. Boom, gone. And he will be gone. They will not mess about. Let's be honest. Now then, I've got a question for you, Stu, and I just want to hear, you know, I know people say, oh, you shouldn't criticise Eddie Howe and all this. Why can't you at the end of the day? Do you think Guardiola gets away with criticism? I bet Man City fans were criticising Guardiola yesterday. But you see City fans jumping on top of each other saying, oh, you can't criticise Guardiola, look what he's done. No, because they know Guardiola's won trophies. And yes, they know he's got every right to take criticism. And that's the same with any manager. But it just seems at the minute, since our takeover gone through 3 years ago, some of our fan base has turned really toxic, which is sad. And it's the fact is, with some of the fans as well, as soon as you see anything negative, they're jumping on you. Or you're a proper Newcastle fan, you're not a fan, go off and support somebody else and say, whoa, hang on a minute. You know, that's why I don't comment on half the stuff on there, because it's not worth the aggro, it's not worth the abuse. You know, it's pointless if you try and talk sense, because they see it in a totally different light. Look at the abuse Ten Hag's had this season off his own fans, and rightly so, because Man U have been absolutely dross, but they've won an FA Cup, you know. Look at the fans that were giving Steve Bruce, and rightly so, because Steve Bruce was a terrible manager for us. Should never have been manager of our football club in the first place, you know. But if you see anything wrong about Eddie Howe, well, I've criticised Eddie Howe at times when I feel it's necessary. Like the team selection against Man United. That was deserved criticism, in my opinion, because he got that wrong. He played the wrong players. You know, Dubravka's been a liability.
Dubravka's done.
But there's been other games, and like games where he could have brought players off that shouldn't have still been on the pitch, like Sean Longstaff playing too many minutes.
Another one I want to mention.
Why don't we give, you know, I said to somebody, well, why don't we give Joe White a shot? Or you can't give him a go. He's too young. He's only just come back from Crewe. And I'm like, so what? So you're telling me we shouldn't be playing Lewis Smiley then because he's too young? Man U shouldn't be playing Manu because he's too young? What a load of bollocks. What a load of bollocks. I'm sorry. If you're old enough, you're good. If you're good enough, you're old enough, as far as I'm concerned. Everton threw Wayne Rooney in when he was just before his 16th birthday, or just when he turned 16. So, no, I don't agree with what some people say. And I don't know what goes on in our fan base at times. But as far as I'm concerned, throwing Joe White in place of Longstaff would be no worse than playing Longstaff for 90 minutes. Opinion.
Another game I want to point out was the 3-2 away defeat to Chelsea. We handed that game to them. And the fact is, as you mentioned, we're playing players injured. And Longstaff was one of them. But why we were playing like Botman, who was still injured with an ACL? What happened after the Man City game? Oh, we're being told he's out for 6 to 9 months. And he's now having to go and have surgery. Now, the medical team should have been clamping down on him for that. Apparently, it's true Botman wanted to. He didn't want the surgery. I think Botman's, in a way, was being a bit silly there as well, because he should have known better that... Surely he should have known better that something wasn't right with his ACL, and look what's happened. Yeah. We're now missing him for 6 to 9 months, and we missed him a lot for the... If we had to miss him for that a lot of that season, so be it. You can't play players who have got injuries, who have got serious injuries, and play with an ACL.
100%, Pete. 100%.
Again, the medical stuff should have came in and says, no, we're not happy with that. You need to go and get that operated on. So there's another downfall as well. But again, I want to go back to the Chelsea game as well. I mean, as I mentioned, Chelsea were not a good team, and the fact is, we handed that win to them as well. And the fact is, why are we taking Bruno off when we're 3-1 down, trying to get a goal back, and then Eddie brought him off and left Longstaff on, who was absolutely abysmal for the whole of that 90 minutes.
He's Eddie's favourites. Short Lawrence's one of Eddie's favourites, to know what I mean. He'd never drop him. But before I go on the comments, right, I want to bring this up as well. I'm sorry, going to. Toys just mentioned about being negative and please having a go. I want to bring this one up, right, this morning, right? And really infuriates us, right? It's Julie Bell, all right? I'm going to mention her. I'm going to call her out. And whether she listens or not, I don't care. She said, right, how about a 39-year-old goalkeeper getting a contract extension at Man City? He is there for the training ground regime where teams spend the majority of their time. It's not all about the match day squad. Dummett and Richie have already been on the bench because of injuries. Well, sorry, Julie, if you're watching, all right, I'm going to respond that to you. The thing is, though, they need him for European football, right? But we haven't got European football. We don't have that problem because you haven't got European football anymore. Yeah. So Dummett and Richie needs to be moved on to free up the wage. It's as simple as that. There's two differences there, Julie Bell. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to answer that question and I'm going to say it on live as well. So I don't mind calling people out. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Simple as that, because I will say it. And thanks for mentioning that, Tony, as well. Let's go.
No, that's fine. I mean, thing is, Pete, do you agree with it as well? I mean, what I've said, I mean, at the end of the day, since this takeover's happened, the fan base has got so toxic, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, well,
it's not like the fan base that I know of, you know?
It's just like, oh, you can't call out people this, you can't call out people. Sorry, but we have to say it how it is. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Blow smoke out of people's backsides to say, well, we played brilliant on the day when we didn't.
Exactly. You can't blow flowers on people's asses.
Yeah, if something needs to be said, it needs to be said. Simple as that.
Yeah, fact. Absolute fact. So that really infuriates today, right? I mean, when you say something nice, you don't get a reply back. But when you say something, they jump on you. That's a perfect example, right? I'm sorry, but it needs to be called out. I'm sorry, but it's just not on. It ain't on at all, yeah? But everyone's got an opinion. If you don't agree with an opinion, cool.
That's fine. You can disagree with people's opinions if you respect them.
Exactly.
It's just, yeah. But as I mentioned, 7th place. The fact is, we could have finished a lot worse. We could have went way down the table with all the injuries we had.
I agree.
So, in a way, you're looking at 7th place. 7th place is not bad considering how many injuries we've had this season, but it does hurt when we've just missed out on Europe, particularly when we thought we were getting it.
Yeah,
but another team wins into the competition.
Thing is, you look at the. If you go back to that Wolves game at home, when we were really sliding down the table at the time, if Wolves had beat us that day, I think they would have been above us, and I think we could have ended up being down to 12th place. And since that game against Wolves, we sort of never looked back. But like I say, there was games there. Yes, okay, there was some games there that we probably wouldn't have won, like some Arsenal away, things like that. But the ones where we should have been taking points, and no disrespect to the teams that have just come up from the Championship. Yes, okay, we've done the double over Burnley and Sheffield United, but we should have been. You shouldn't be drawn 4-4 at home to Luton Town. That day we let Ross Barkley look like the best player in the world.
Mm.
He looked like a player that's playing for Real Madrid that day. He was outstanding that day. He was slotting balls through our defence and everything. And, and obviously that's a player we're going to miss out on getting now because apparently he's signing for Villa. But look, we made Ross Barkley look excellent that day, But again, and that's the problem. Our defence was all over the place against Luton Town. And I mean, we had to rescue that game because we were 4-2 down at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we'd lost that game 4-2, I wonder what the fans would have said after that. That's what I would like to have known. These so-called happy clappers have still been happy then, or would
Another one I'm going to throw out in there. We've had players out of position, i.e. Dan Burn at left back when it gives you kind of have him at left back. Particular Luton, he got rinsed by their right-hand side player. Forest at home, he got absolutely rinsed by Elanga.
Mm-hmm.
Man City at home was another one. Mm-hmm. And I don't get it. Why was it the cup game? Why was he playing as a left wing back?
I mean, that's where Nuno Espirito Santo came in and done his homework. He'd only been with Forest not even a week, and as soon as they were playing us, Straight away, he switched these wingers around. He put Hudson-Odoi left, and he says, right, I'm putting Alanga on the right because Alanga's my quickest player, and he's going to rip Dan Burn a new one. And that's exactly what he did. You know, the same with Luton Town. Rob Edwards put Ogbenny on him, and Ogbenny led him a merry dance all afternoon.
Yep.
Indeed.
And when Eddie Howe was asked that question about the players, about Dan Burn, and he's like, oh yeah, but he's in there because of his height and everything. No, sorry. If he's getting ripped on pace, if everybody else can see it, why can't Eddie Howe see it? And this could be this is part of the downfall why we're not in Europe. Yeah. But we can't say we were in Europe last week and we're out of it this week because it was never our place to start with. It was only going to be our place if Man City had turned up yesterday and stopped Man U winning the FA Cup. But because that didn't happen, we haven't ended up in Europe this season. It's a freak season. Do not have 7th place and be in the Conference League. But then you can blame Liverpool for not turning up against Man United.
Yeah, very true, very true. Let's go for the comments. Yeah, there's loads coming through. Please smash the likes as well, please. And also, if you'd like to come and remember, it's 99p. Do consider coming and remember. And super chats are open as well. And do follow Pete and Tony. I hope we learn from our mistakes for next season. Cannot with our other teams. Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much indeed for that. That's a fantastic comment there. Big up as well. And using Torsten and Kelly. Kelly could be a done deal. Torsten is up in the air in a minute, Chris. So do smash the likes as well.
Oh, talking of Torsten, I've seen some rumours going around. Apparently he's turning us down because we're not in Europe.
There you go.
If that's the case, don't bother. We don't want players like you. If you can't be bothered, go on, hop on, jog on somewhere else, if that's the case, as far as I'm concerned, because if that's all he cares about, playing in Europe, then he can jog on.
He doesn't play in Europe for Fulham, does he?
Exactly.
He played in Europe for Fulham, didn't he? So he's a player I would like. And we need new centre-backs because apart from Botman, all of our other centre-backs are now in their 30s now. Shea, Lascelles, Byrne, they're in their 30s now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There'll be a point where their legs might not take another season. We don't know when, but there'll be a point where their legs will not be able to take another season anymore.
Yeah, that's a fair shout, Pete. Tony, well said. If you don't want to come to a club, just go. Because I'll tell you what, we're not going to come back for you ever again. It's as simple as that. Players are just so picky now who don't want to join you. I hope you go to United and don't get in the first team. Simple as that. Busy writing my 5.2 episode on 47 pages with a nice copper to my most scary story yet. You know what, Brian? Good on you. And enjoy your reading, man. Do it more likely to go and you won't need to think about UEFA stupid club train quarter. That's Lawrence. Shout. Hi to Leanne. Hope you're well, Leanne. Hi to Amy. Love you lots as always. I hope you're well and having a good day as well. Do follow Amy on NUFC and CUFC as well. She'll tell you. Big up to Alan again. The Euro players was lost due to your squad not being strong enough to cope with the injuries. That's an Ian. Right, I'm going to delete that one. And if he's not careful, he's going to get banned. Fact. And you know what it is, right, Joel? If you're watching, right, I'm going to call you out as well. Stop being a prick, right? And don't ever come back on our channel again like that, okay? And that's the problem with our fan base, some of our fan base, right? People like Joe, right, who thinks he's clever, right? Who sit behind the keyboard, like to wind people up. And thanks for that, Ian, as well. Thank you, man. See, look, I'm on it. I'm ripping that apart tonight. The one that annoys me the most was Liverpool Horn. Nick, I totally agree. There are 10 men and they still beat us. Let's have a look at that one. Right, that's twice I've done that. That's twice. He's gone. He's gone. That is twice. Just wait. That's Joe.
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. I've done it.
These trolls, you're not funny. You're not funny at the end of the day.
Fact, Pete, I'll call them out, man. I'm gonna cook them, I'm gonna roast them, and I'm gonna saute them. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna cook them, whip them up, saute.
I like you got that spoon out again.
There's another YouTuber does that as well, and I think he's funny as well. And I think you know who he is. Just way too many injuries again. Yep, Amy, I agree. I would like to see Matt Ritchie stay, not as a player, but in Eddie's coaching staff. Like, Gary, you're not the first one to say
that wouldn't be a bad move, but just not keep Ritchie as a footballer at the club.
Yeah, fact. I'll probably find it in a minute who's been saying that as well. I'm just going to block him on Twitter as well, whoever this Joe is. Ritchie needs to go, I think. And yeah, fair enough. Just my opinion, but hard to find having less games next season is a positive. Short term, yes, it may well help. But when there we need to have the extra games again if and when we get back to Europe. That's a fair shout, Lawrence, yeah? We're getting to Europe, you have to have extra games anyway. Whether our squad or Coolpit, I have no idea. And Ian's chatting. Amy, Davey Porter, big up the Davey, by the way, Wells to Torn. And
WWE, yes.
Yeah. It's more this evening. She's coming in soon, Lauren. She's coming in soon because I have she's just got in. I have spoken to her and she's gonna come in very soon. If she's just doing something first, she will be here. I'm sure she will, but thanks for that as well. And Ian's chatting.
It's been reported in the Mail, John.
Yeah.
The Daily Mail that Everton are eyeing up Yankuba Minte from us. And they're just going to check their financial position to see if they're in a position to buy him. They want to buy him from us.
Yeah, wow.
Minte says he wants to play in the Premier League. And he's hoping it's with us. But Sean Dyche is saying they're looking into their financial situation because they're not sure how that position is. And then they'll make a move for Minte because they're saying Newcastle wants to prioritise Elise.
Wow. I tell you what, though, he stays with us. I can't see Eddie letting him go.
Minte should be given a pre-season with us. I want to see that kid be given at least a pre-season with us.
I totally agree. Because at the end of the day...
And we need to get rid of Miguel Almiron out of this side as well. Because Miguel Almiron is part of the Deadwood now. Strange thing is, Miggy's last goal was against Fulham at home when we won 3-0. After that, no goals. And guess how many assists as well since then as well? 0 as well, yes.
And then people still think, some people on social media still think he's a wonderful player. Okay, cool. We can come back to this in a minute. Just with the comments, there's loads coming in. Please play with us, guys. It will get read out as well. Mason, who would you take from Leeds United? Oh, it's quite a few I'd take. Summerfield I'd take. Green I'd take.
Summerfield's not too bad, I suppose.
I mean, there's quite a few I'd take as well. That Jorginho I'd take as well in a squad. I think he's a good player. He really is. And
he has some news for you guys.
Yeah.
Big news. He's a free agent, this guy. Do you remember Morten Gamst Pedersen, who played for Blackburn? We were after him and he went to Blackburn to sign there.
Yes.
Do you remember him, John?
Yeah, I do. He's Blackburn Rovers.
Well, he's 42-year-old and he's still going strong. He's had a few offers, including one from Senegal, and says he's ready for a new adventure.
Wow.
And he's still playing football.
Pedersen.
42 years old.
Yeah, and he's still playing.
I remember, who was his face? Goalkeeper, playing for Wigan at the time when we beat them in the championship. Jaskalainen. He was a good 4-year-old then. Yeah.
Wow. I hope he finds a new club. I really do. But if he keeps well, cool. Big up to you, man. He was good playing this time as well.
Yes, he was a very good player.
Very good technical player. If they don't get Dominic Ritchie, a new contract, they may as well give Shola Amayomi a new deal. Chalky. I could not put any better, mate. I can't put any better. Hi to Mr. Fleming.
Good evening, Ian. Hope you're well.
What I'm saying is, and I'm not saying this, that's an Ian. Okay. What got me, Gary is on the bench, just keeping it warm. We should have played him, Lee.
Good point Lee's made there, because I think Karius deserved a chance. Karius, to me, deserved an opportunity when Dubravka was simply not performing up to standards.
Yeah.
As well.
That.
I know he played against Arsenal, but we conceded 4. But if it wasn't for Karius, it would have been more than 4. I'm just gutted we didn't give Karius an opportunity when Dubravka wasn't up to standards, because Dubravka has definitely been partly a lot of to blame why we've chucked through points away as well.
True. Problem is, this is some Tony, by the way, he's Eddie out all day long. If a new manager comes in, he won't have as much money to spend as Howard has, and he may not want a lot of players Eddie signed. So it take years to get rid. And that's fair enough. The first week of the transfer, I want to see Tosin, Kelly, Mamalashvili in the bag for starters all. Yang, Tosin may not want to come to Newcastle now because you're not.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully,
what's that, Tom?
Graham Bailey's just put out a post an hour ago. Understands that Chelsea have made a late bid to land Tosin. Newcastle have been leading Man United in the chase for Fulham man, but now Chelsea have entered the fray, and as it's in London, he may stay where he is.
But to go to a rival,
Chelsea are now looking to offload Chalobah, Disasi, Badiashile, and also Thiago Silva's retiring at the end of the season. So,
but would he go to a rival though? That's the problem.
When he talks,
well,
he talks, but Fulham, Chelsea aren't really rivals. Look, at the end of the day, right? If he went for Spurs to Chelsea, that'd be a different kettle of fish. But Fulham and Chelsea, both West London clubs, yeah. Well, it's a tough one. It's a really tough one, man. But if you go to Chelsea, let them go to Chelsea. Who cares? Simple as that. A big part of the season's backslide was lack of summer transfers. The squad is still nowhere near it. Do you know what it is, mate? I think that you're absolutely right. Last season, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10 window. Most of them gave it an 8 or a 9. Ten Hag has won more cups than we have in 60 years. Let's please not become Man U fans.
No, definitely not. But the fact is, Ten Hag could still leave. This Toxie could still go. You could still leave because apparently, I think the new owners. Well, the Glazers and Sir Jim Radcliffe, probably the one Tuchel in now.
Yeah, fact. Good for the last one before we go on to the next bit. Our fans need to start raising the standards. We can't keep referring back to Ashley. It's time to move forward, lads. Top 10 isn't going to cut it anymore. There is better value in the foreign market.
We should be looking to go in there as well, yeah.
I have to agree with Tony there. Because look, at the end of the day, right? Tony is passionate, right? He speaks his mind. He says it how it is, right? He reminds us of like Luca, right? Similar to Luca of Newcastle, yeah. But at the end of the day, right? You got to raise the standards. We've got to start looking for better players. We've got to start improving and get rid of the players that I deem not good enough. Simple as that. And I'm not being negative. I'm just speaking facts. And Danburn left back for so long has been criminal this season, getting skin time and time again. And that is a problem.
You kind of put him up against players who have got pace, unfortunately. And that's why we've had to knock him back to centre-back. To give Lewis Hall the chance. I feel like we should have give Lewis Hall more chances a lot sooner, but if Lewis Hall came out in a minute that he wasn't ready, so that's fair point.
Yeah,
to be unfair, if he said he wasn't ready, then fair play to the lad for coming out and saying it.
Fact. Good comment to Thomas Conner. I want to talk about the signings we made in the summer. Tino Livramento, Tony, right? 35 mil. Harvey B, 38 million quid as well. And is that the signs he made? I thought he signed one more, didn't we? He's then when we signed up. Contest last season.
Lewis Hall as well.
Lewis Hall as well on the season alone to turn that's the one. But if it's given us a marks out of 10, right? I would have given it a 6 because the reason being we needed a right winger, we needed another defender where possible, and we needed a striker. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 window there. What's your thoughts, Tony?
Yeah, John, felt a bit flat, if I'm honest. Look, when Tonali come in, I was buzzing because...
and Tonali came in as well. So for me,
yeah,
I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10 window. 7 out of 10 window because he needs...
Because when Tonali come in, especially at 55 million, I thought, wow, we've scored here. What a bargain, because this is a guy I even mentioned 18 months prior. I think it was when we had our first transfer window under the new owners. And it was like one player I thought, I would love to see him in our club, Tonali, but I can't see where we're getting him. But look, when he came in, I thought, this is fantastic. I can't believe we're getting this guy. Especially for the price as well. But obviously we know why we've got him for that price now, because obviously AC Milan must have known that he had this problem. And if they're thinking of buying him back in the summer, they've got no chance. because technically he owes the club now, big time. The club has stood behind him. Plus, I don't think AC Milan will come back in for him, if I'm honest.
No.
And look, you see the videos. He's training. He looks very happy. He's enjoying himself. He's doing his rehab, which he's done. He's done everything that he was asked to do. Yes, the FA have decided to hit him with a 2-month suspended ban. Just so the FA look important. If that was a top 6 club, nothing would have happened. It would have been right or no further action. But because it's us, the FA, boom. Well, we'll just throw a 2-month suspended ban in there just to make it look good. That the FA are doing something about it. But I was happy with it. Tonali. Livramento, I was a bit not so sure because he'd just come back from an ACL, and I was like, it's a bit risky, 40 million. But I thought, I've seen the guy play for Southampton before, and he looked all right. And I thought, okay, we'll see how he goes. Lewis Hall. I was like, yeah, I can see the potential in Lewis Hall there. He can play in 6 different positions. And I want to see how well he does for us. Because after that game against us when we beat them 1-0, when Havertz decided to go off on one at the end of the game, having to go burning everybody, because the guy's a prick. That game against us, I thought Lewis Hall looked really, really good. And I thought, he's not a bad left back for a youngster, is he? Chelsea fans are now not happy about this because they know how good a player he is, and they're not happy the way Chelsea's done this deal because it said Chelsea were just stupid doing it. And because it said Gusto and Hall would have been the 2 perfect full backs for them. Look, 7 out of 10 is about fair for the window. Yes, we could have done with another right winger. We could have done with a 3rd striker, if I'm honest. As we've had it this season where Isak and Wilson have both been out, and we've had to push Gordon up there. It's not a position that Anthony Gordon plays. But look, it wasn't a bad window, but it wasn't the best window. It could have been better. I thought we could have had another. We could have got a right wing and maybe a striker. As I say, the strikers out there, you just gotta go and get them. Marcus Leonardo would have been absolutely fantastic for us. A youngster, hit the ground running. He's done okay for Benfica in the few games he's been there. 20 million quid. But at least, 20-year-old striker coming through, give him a couple of years, he'd probably be flying in the Premier League. Or he could have been flying this season, coming up in the Premier League. So, but all in all, like I say, about 7 out of 10 for me, John.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Well, we could well get the players that we get in, but we could have done with a bit more. It's like there's be more from Tonali next season. I don't think we've seen the best of Harvey Barnes yet. Just a shame he got that injury, which ruled him out a lot of the season. But I think there's still more from Barnes for me next season. And hopefully we could keep these players fit. But there's a lot we need to throw out the team. Now, this is my choice. I would get rid of who I think should be gone.
Yeah.
So Dubravka, it's time for him to go. Karius, because I think the kid deserves games and he's not getting them here, unfortunately. Dummett, been here too long and is pot of dead wood now. As well, Target, we're letting that guy have 100 grand a week. And now he's gone well down the pecking order now from me, unfortunately. Longstaff, if a bid comes in, I'd happy accept it. I must admit. Miguel Almiron, it's time he leaves as well. He's been here too long as well. Callum Wilson, been a great servant, great striker for us, scored some lot of goals for us, but the guy can't stay fit now, unfortunately, and he's 32 years of age. And there will be a time where it will really, really catch up on him. Those injuries will really start to catch up on him. Now, unfortunately. Another one I forgot to mention, Richie as well. Been a great servant, but been here too long and is really aging on now. So it's another one. So that's quite a few players I have rattled through that we need to move on come at the end of the season.
Ipswich want Miggy for 21 million, apparently, Pete.
Yep, I mentioned that on my show yesterday. And
I would take their hands off.
Yes, so would I.
They want Nick Pope as well.
See, keep Pope. I want to keep Pope.
Yeah. That's
Got to
interesting.
get Mamardashvili through the door, though.
Yeah, hopefully we will.
100%.
People say if we got Mamardashvili, then Pope's going to be number 2.
It's looking that way at the minute.
That's the thing. But who says we might not play a goalkeeper in the Premier League games and then do the goalkeeper in the European? Or maybe in the cup games.
It'd be interesting
because we missed out on Europe, but you never know, because some of the teams do that. Arsenal are a team that chop and change keepers in competitions. We certainly did it. Liverpool, yes, have had as well. I think Man City do as well. Yeah, Man City do. Or I think plays the cup competitions normally.
Yeah,
and again, though, Pete, and John as well. I mean, look. This is a thought, right? And I don't know what you two think of this, right? If Mamardashvili comes in and say Nick Pope says, "Look, Ipswich want me. I want to go back home. I'll go down to Ipswich," because the lad's from Bury St Edmunds originally, which is in Suffolk. Now, if he wants to go back to Ipswich, where he was a youth player, but then we need to bring in a second keeper. Would you take Kelleher from Liverpool as your backup choice? Because I would.
He's not a bad keeper. Yes, he is.
That's a fantastic shout there. That is a really, really fantastic shout.
Some people said the one mind James Trafford from Burnley. I don't think he's a bad. I don't think he's a bad keeper. He's just Burnley's just not been a poor side. Burnley's just been a poor side, and just didn't do enough, unfortunately, to stay in the Premier League, unfortunately.
But then would Kelleher want to become a backup keeper at us as well? So that's the other thing as well.
Interesting. I'll tell you what, though, Gallagher will be a fantastic keeper, and he's very, very good. Is he? Best number 2 in the Prem, I say. There's actually some people out there who believe that there will be a title race next season. Let me say this now, right? There's a lot of hard work needs to be done before we consider ourselves in the title race.
We need to keep up our superstars. So, Bruno, Isak, Gordon, there's 3 of them we need to really keep for next season.
Yeah, that. The thing is, an ACL, there's 0 guarantees you'll be the same player when you were before it happened. And Ian said you can't force a person to have surgery, by the way. It's law. That's fair enough. Big up to Paul. And hi to Tristan. Big up to you. The simple fact is we did not buy enough quality. We bought Tonali for the Champions League. That naive and shows Eddie Howe has no idea about Europe and how to improve the squad. That is the thing. And let's go on to Ian. So there might be footballers, but there are still people. You cannot force employees to have a surgery. And Lewis has said, Lewis Hall, big up to Lewis. And if you look at it, right, Brighton 3-1, Liverpool 2-1, Bournemouth 2-0, Everton 3-0. These are all defeats, by the way. 3-1 home Forest, 4 each against Luton, 1 each at Brighton. When we blew the season, no point blaming City for the cup. We don't deserve European this season. Based on those assault, Lewis. Based on those assault.
That's a very good point.
That is a very, very good point, man. It just goes to show that, and I said this to you last night, do not rely on other people. You got to do it on your own. And the 38 games, the table and the stats do not lie. Yeah, it's as simple as that. That's why I never said a word about City yesterday. It's as simple as that. But next season, it's going to be a huge season for Eddie. And
in that game against Forest at home, we made Chris Wood look like prime Ronaldo from Brazil.
Yeah, we did. That annoyed me as well.
When he scores first ever hat-trick in the Premier League.
Because the guy couldn't do it for us, but he answered for us. The way we let him play was just criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Yeah, that I didn't go to that game Boxing Day because I had to work the next day, so I couldn't make it. But do you know what? What can I say? I would have been Cruel Forster back rather than Richie and Dummett. Again, they are a disgrace. That's Tony's going in hard, man. But it's Tony. Oh, and all this Bruno and Isak leave. Then why hasn't Spurs squad left them? I'm sorry, it's all bull. Or top players would have left Spurs last summer. Let's be real, right? I mean, look, at the end of the day, people say it's a PR disaster going to Australia, right? I know people's going to come on and say, look, some Australians, I had a lad yesterday, Ricky yesterday, and Julian, like 40 quid to watch the reserve side. Yeah. Those Australians are Tony, I tell you something now. Some of those Australian fans must have been peeved off paying that sort of money. They expect to see, if it's a mix and match, like Murphy, Ritchie, and Domit in the team, okay, cool. We'd have accepted that. But they have to see the young players paying that sort of money only get whooped like it goes in there. Then people have to go at me. So I was moaning. I was not moaning. I was speaking facts. You know what I mean? I did not want to go at the kids. I would never do that. Yeah. But what I said, they should have had the experienced players guiding them along. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, look, the second game, we weren't meant to play that game because Chelsea was supposed to be playing the All Aussie League Stars, but Chelsea pulled out of it because it said they didn't know if they'd be in the FA Cup final. So that's why it ended up coming to us, because we weren't in the FA Cup. Now, this is what disappoints me, because yes, we had those kids playing. We played Grant Kowal. You know, I don't know how he played in that game, by the way. I don't know if he had a good game
a lot of people said he didn't look up to it much.
No. But there again, if you're playing with a bunch of other kids and you're playing against these Aussie A-League stars who are like, you know, it's like going up against La Liga's best players. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, or going up against any country's best players. You're going to struggle. Anybody is. But when you've took Ritchie and Dummett with you, why aren't they playing? You know, like John said, why couldn't Murphy have played maybe? You know, could have given Murphy a half or whatever, and you could have played Dummett and Ritchie for 60 or 70 minutes. Okay, Joe Linton wasn't there because he was off for his wedding. But look, there was definitely players there who could have gone in there. Trippier was on the bench. Why didn't he put Trippier on for half an hour at the end or whatever? You know, just to try and steady the nerves for the players. So in a way, if I had paid money to go and watch that game, like some of the Newcastle fans did, I'd be absolutely seething. Now I know it's only a friendly, and people are going to say, "Oh, well, don't get on your high horse over a friendly." Yeah, that's fair enough. But what you got to think about is those fans who've gone out to Australia, have paid money for not just their flights, but the hotels, which won't be cheap. The tickets aren't cheap for the MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Source beat Tottenham after penalties, apparently.
Oh, froze it again. Keep talking, Tony. Keep talking. I'll reboot.
Yeah, apparently the the Tottenham game, it was apparently a surprise to managers that the referee decided to have a penalty shootout at the end. Nobody knew about it, which I found strange. But for those that have gone over there and paid to watch our kids getting absolutely humiliated, and some of those kids who are being released as well. So I know people have said, "Oh, well, because Dummett and Ritchie are out of contract in June." I don't care. I don't give a flying F if they're out of contract in June, because those kids are out of contract in June. So what's the difference of playing them but not playing Dummett and Ritchie?
Mm-hmm.
I just hope, for the sake of these kids, that this does not scar them when they go to new clubs or wherever, because, you know, this could leave scars on them for years to come. To be damaged by a heavy defeat like that, It was like a training ground exercise for the other side. I mean, I didn't see the game, but from what I've read, it was more like a training ground exercise, Pete.
It was. It certainly was. And yeah, you feel sorry the fans that have flew from here. That's it's a full day of flying, pretty much, to fly from this country all the way to Australia. It's pretty much only a full day of flying, and yeah, it's just I didn't understand it, to be honest. That last game, why we had 3 senior players on the bench. I think Addison was on the bench as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at that game, and look, I know it's only a friendly, and that's why I'm not too over the top about it. But all I'm just saying is the fact is, you know, those fans have paid money to go and watch them games, or to go and watch certainly the second game. You know, and to see a game just so one-sided, you know. I know we beat Sheffield United 8-0, but that's a difference, you know, that's a different matter, because they were bloody poor that day, and it wasn't like we were playing against a bunch of kids. But it's just when you're throwing a bunch of kids out like that, and they're feeling humiliated. We see Diallo's put on a goodbye message on his Twitter account. I thought there was I thought that lad might have had something about him, but obviously the club don't see that he does. So I wish that lad good luck wherever he goes in his career, and I hope he proves us wrong. I really do. I hope a lot of them prove us wrong. And you know, that's the best medicine you can take from when you're released from your football club. That you go to your next one and you say, right, okay, you didn't think I was good enough. Here's the proof I am good enough, and go out there and show it. And that's, you know, that's what you want to see them do. And that's why these footballers become successful. You know, they take knockbacks, but they'll prove to the club that you should never let me go. I'm going to prove to you you're wrong. Yes, there is some that leave clubs and you think, yeah, absolutely right. But there's some you think, no, they shouldn't have left their clubs.
Yeah, fact, absolute facts. Go for the comments, there's loads, but keep those comments coming in. Make sure you smash the likes as well, please. That'll be brilliant. And respectfully, Sean has to play the season. Nobody's pleased about it. And if Santo wasn't suspended, he would have started over Sean all season. This won't be happening again. Exactly.
He did, but Eddie should have taken him off when he really wasn't performing up to the standards at times as well. He shouldn't have been playing him a full 90 minutes at times.
I agree. The thing is as well, right? I'm not going to lie, yeah, but he's played a lot of games, and some of the performances hasn't been great from him either. If players want to Europe, why as far as Bournemouth signed top European talent is called the Prem? I'm sorry, fans have to see our league is the attraction, is the best league in the world. As in Tristan, look at Bournemouth. They just got Pinto, which they got there so quickly. For us, we still look for sporting director for about 4 or 5 months now. If you did get Europe, West Ham would have been a turning point. Indeed, Lawrence. You're not allowed to have an opinion if you don't fit their agenda. Well said, John. Matter of opinion is what makes the world spin round. We're not all going to agree on the same things. So much toxicity in our fan base, and that's exactly right, Gia. And I've seen it as well on social media, right? And that's why some people like Mama Flossie, she doesn't use Twitter. Jez, also History More, doesn't use Twitter. Yeti doesn't use Twitter. Drew Gunners does use Twitter. Yeah, that's why Twitter is such toxicity. It's as simple as that. We are always seem to struggle against bottom clubs. It's been brutally Luton, Forest, yeah. Even Bournemouth, finished well. Do you not remember where Bird played left back against Luton? They got dragged off with the fans, chanting for Tino to come on the pitch. He had an awful time, Burn. I wouldn't abuse a player, but we have to call it for how it is. He was absolutely shocking. We need to adjust facts. There's now kitchen tables and more legs, Dan Burn. Hey! I love it, man. 7th place would have got us to Europe 8 out of 10 seasons. Not this season, Mick. But you are correct. Gladburn did get moved to centre back, the Hall at left back. Finally, Eddie C says there. The worst thing is that all of us said Dan Burn can't play in the next game, etc. And Eddie did it again. That's when I really started to question Eddie. I'm 50-50 split on him, to be honest now. And City looked like gobshite. Amy, you're right. Amy, I tell you what, you should be the Prime Minister of the UK. I see on that one. Well, fans going to see you aren't entitled to Europe. Sorry, our squad isn't good enough. Facts. Until we build a top squad, we're just flop again, just like last season. It's going to be a massive season, Pete. Massive season.
We need to get the right players in. We need to shut the deadwood out. We need to have a good start of the season.
Talking about players, John, Pete,
yeah.
Paul's just put out a tweet 5 minutes ago, Paul Toon Review.
Yeah.
And this has come from Marco Conterio, who's an Italian journalist. Do you know John?
Yeah.
Marco Conterio. And what he's saying is Newcastle United have now entered the race for 19-year-old centre-back Dean Hyson from Juventus, who's been on loan at Roma this season. He's 19 years of age and he's on a free at the end of the season.
Him, yes.
And I'm just looking at his stats, John, and Pete for Roma this season. He started 4 out of 14 games. He's got 2 goals, no assists. He won 1 penalty, and he scored 1 with his right foot as well, and 1 with his head. He's defending wise. He's had 1 error that's led to a shot and an error that's led to a goal. But again, the lad's only 19 years of age. He's got time on his side. 4 yellow cards all season. I mean, I don't know a lot about him, John. Have you seen him play, John? Dean Hyson?
I don't see a lot of this guy, to be honest with you. Sort of thing. There he is. I don't see a lot of this guy, but he seems a talented lad. You just mentioned 4 games and a goal as well. And young lad. And he seems really got talent there. But like I said, mainly it could be for Coppa Italia games as well. So yeah, he looks talented. Long way to go, but he's getting there. But if you're gonna get a centre back, I'd rather get someone who's ready-made, like 2021-22. But he probably want to play more games if possible, be in the first team, but that's not going to happen yet, mate. So I shared the stream for those who don't know the guy. There he is, and don't play many games like Coppa Italia. But I've not seen this lad play. I can't lie. So we have to see what happens on that one. But whether it happens,
there must be something about him, John, or else we wouldn't be in for him.
Yeah, true. Probably we get him for Carling Cup games. I think, or probably just a fringe off as well. But I'll tell you another player I'd take as well straight away is Matic Fio for Milan. 6'5" of him. That guy is absolutely brilliant at the back. Brings back from the back really well, and I'm a big fan of the Phil. Big fan of this guy. But but can't qualify to say too much about this lad. But we'll see what happens. But we'll see. I keep hearing saying, it's better without Euros because less games. Well, the problem with not making it is chatting better players. That's a fair shout, Amy. That's a fair shout. That's why, I just had to play the piece when I said, we've got less games, blah, blah, blah. But I'd rather be in Europe, but it's just not the case. Newcastle United, of course, Nathan. That Malik Fio in Milan looks like a cracking young player, 23, and has half AR potential and pocket our attack where we played St. James's Park. I'll tell you what, he was brilliant against us. He was absolutely fantastic. And the Pioli got sacked, by the way. With a hard line of high press, we need fast centre backs. And seeing at least one defender go next Jan might just steer the summer for Scott Deff, but then moved on because of their contracts. That's Lawrence. Hi to Lawrence. He's rapping it. Yes, he is. He's quick. He's quick. Well said. Thank you very much indeed. And Anna's chanting Amy. Look at that. Sunderland don't need trolls. Thank you very much. John, does anyone like opinion on you? Of course they are, David. Of course they are. You got something to say? Go for it. Go for it, man. It's all about opinions, yeah? You don't have to agree every time, but, opinions is great. At one time, trolling was an art. Now it's just being offensive fast. And then, Joe's just a pot noodle, easy to cook. Alan, I've got a spoon there. Could move it up. You know what I mean? If I saw it in public, pew, pew, pew. I just go cook him. I'll cook him. Absolutely cooked. Cook the trolls. Yeah? And I say the same on social media. Spot on, mate. Thanks a lot. I can't remember what I said now, B. Run up for roasting these trolls, John, mate. Yep. That's what I said. I said I'll cook them, saute them, marinate them, season them in the oven, and I add the spice up. You can have an opinion, David, but not abusive. Thank you, Ian. To be fair, with Julie on the Scott Carson point, he's been on the bench for all competitions this season, or not just Europe. Edison also stated that he was on the main reason for him settling in England. That's some Foxy. Big up to Foxy, by the way. And gave Richie a new contract, but been done it. Richie's proven he's still able to do it, and he's bailed us quite a bit too. Like he scored.
It's only against Bournemouth, though. That was it.
That's
One
it.
game's not enough.
Exactly. Evening to Quinn. I hope you're well. If you guys are new to the channel, I know some of the people's gone on Pete's channel and Tony's channel, right? Please make sure you subscribe to my channel as well, please. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And they're going to be sharing the streams as well on live as well in future endeavors. Richard will be a player coach if he stays. I think Anderson has to be registered for next season onwards. And then Pep, also called Scott Carson, one of the most important members of the squad. And Everton's got the money. Bowen or Elise? For me, I'll go Belise. Just Belise. Minte won't be sold. Could be loaned to someone like Leeds. That's from Lewis. For me, it's Elise. Yep. And next to get rid of Murphy and Miron and have Minte as backup. Then the new right wing we can start for us. Just with a couple more. Everton has some money. They're lucky not to be administration as of yet. And then nice to see you, Tony. That's a grin. One of your regulars. Mickey and Murphy not good enough. Same as Tabraka. That's in Cenk. He's got an opinion. Alan's 20 goals well. And Devin no abuse. That's not on David. Thank you, David Fats. And Miggy's still my boy. I believe in him. We're going to touch on Miggy. I'm sorry. We are going to touch on him, right? I mean, last season, Tony, 12 goals, yeah? What has gone wrong with Miggy this season?
It's like he's gone backwards, John. I really don't get what's gone on with Miggy. Last season he looked unstoppable. But there again, it could be down to the fact that teams and players have worked him out. They've probably looked at videos and said, look, if you watch how he scores his goals, he has to shift from his right foot to his left foot so he can get the goals. Maybe that's why he's not doing it this year, because as soon as you see Miggy with the ball, you see two players straight on him, so they can stop him trying to get that shot in. But he's just looked a shadow of himself from last season. Look, I think his time's up now at Newcastle. I really do. I really think his time's up now. They're saying he doesn't want to leave, but at the end of the day, look, the club, I think, need to sit down with Miggy and say, look, Miggy, you're not in our plans. We really want to sell you because we need to raise funds for our FFP side, like we did with Alan St. Maximin. Now, ASM didn't want to go, but he understood the situation because he knew that he had to go to help us so we could progress. And at least he understood that. Where with Miggy, he just thinks, no, I've got a divine right to stay. Yes, he has, okay. Doesn't have to move. But if we turn around to him and say, but if you stay, you will not be in the 25-man Premier League squad next season, which means all you're going to do is come in, day out training. Yes, you may get in the odd cup game, but other than that, you will not be playing. As a player, do you then say, oh, do you know what? I'll leave then for the sake of my career. But I just hope he has a good Copper America. And as Foxy said on my channel earlier, if he has a good Copper America, maybe overseas clubs will come in for him as well. And I've just noticed there, I looked at the Dean Hayson thing. Yes, I looked at it wrong on SofaScore because his contract's up with Roma because he's on loan there. So, yeah, I think he does have some time left on his contract, a couple of years maybe. But yeah, other than that, yeah. No, look, Mickey, I just don't know. I just think he's been found out. Last season he got away with it, but this season he's been found out. But there again, we are not playing Mickey in his proper position either.
We're not as well.
As I said previously, if you watch him in the MLS, the stats don't lie. In the MLS, Paraguay, he goes on the left and comes in. We are not playing him in that position.
But
we are playing him as an inverted right winger, which isn't working.
But again, as well, 0 goals, 0 assists after his last goal against Fulham. For an attacking player as well, that's appalling. That's appalling as well. I know you see he's playing on the right, but he should at least be giving it a go on the right as well. He should be at least trying to give it a goal, but he's not. He really, really isn't. And 0 goals and 0 assists after Fulham, which was December. We're now at the end of the season, May. That's shocking for an attacking player. That's absolutely poor. It's no, Joe. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know it's totally different league. I get it, Eredivisie in Holland, right? But I'm just looking at Minty's stats from last season. He started 17 out of 27 games. He was in Team of the Week for one. He scored 10 goals and 5 assists. Now, considering he's only started 17 out of 27 games and he's got 10 goals and 5 assists, 7 with his left foot, 3 with his right foot, and he's won a penalty as well. So it shows you he's not a one-trick pony with his feet. He can play with either foot and score with either foot. Where you look at Miggy, I think, I can't remember who it was we played now, but I think it was by the time he got the ball he tried to put the ball from his right foot to his left foot, and when he took the shot on it, the chance was gone because it was blocked by the defender. Can't remember which game that was now. Oh Jesus, I can't remember the game it was now, but he went to go from his right to his left to put the ball in the back of the net. And by the time he'd done that, the chance was gone. If he hasn't got a right, but even if he'd hit it with his right foot, it possibly goes in the back of the net anyway. Even if he skew whiffs it, it goes in the back of the net. Doesn't matter. But it's the fact he needs to go to his left foot, and that's the worry.
Big up to Ian, by the way, in the chat. Big up to you guys. And yeah, I totally agree, Tony. You've got to give Minty a chance and running as well. Those stats are good for Feyenoord as well. Yes, only Eredivisie, but I tell you what, he's still got game time. And good on him. Good on him. Just going through comments as well. Disagree. First team needed like 20 plus hours in a plane after important games in the game. Joel Lindenberger wasted. Hasn't hear me. And go through more as well. Hi to Ian as well. Big up Ian as well. And got this one here. Fans over there should have known would be a weakened team. Pete, do you think the fans being shortchanged? Australians?
Possibly, but I don't know. I really don't. It was very puzzling that last game. It really, really was.
Fair enough. I was going to the best game, Pete. You've been to the match as well. The best game of the season.
Best game of the season.
Yeah.
For me, it's PSG at home, 4-1. What a game and what a win that was to beat PSG, and not just that, to rub it into Kylian Mbappe's face, who had an absolute stinking game as well. So for me, it's PSG at home, 4-1.
Yeah, and I've got one from Nick as well. John's your favourite team, Juventus. And Dean Huyston is definitely not a fee. Has a couple of years left on his contract. Thank you very much for that. Foxy or Young'uns didn't seem to understand that they needed to cover the pitch. Bit of a shame, but it's a learning curve, especially as they were a world stage friendly or not. They will learn jobs as well. That's no problem. I have a question for Paul. With Newcastle be in the Premier League and finance, we shouldn't have a squad like Juve soon, as the squad is stacked. They got a big team. Paul? Is Paul in there? Not for me. That was for me.
You must be asking. He's probably might ask it on Paul's show.
John, it's his phone. He says, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Totally agree. Malik from Milan, fantastic centre back. Yeah, it'd be a lot.
It was for you that question, John. By the way,
it was. So let's go for it again. Stack like Juve. As a got a stat, yeah, they got a big squad at Juve. They are trying to get rid of players as well, Tristan as well, and trying to reduce the wage bill as well. So, some for John, my phone's going mad. That's cool. Elisa O'Dear, we must buy Johan Barrioko and have Minty as a backup. Yep. I tell you what, he'd be a lot of money. Would you think Lonzo could go to Leeds? Not now.
If they come in with a bid, I'll take it.
Yeah. But they're not in the Premier League. They got beat at Southampton today. Congratulations to Southampton, by the way. They bottled the playoffs. I can't see it happening anytime soon. Tony, your best game of the season?
Let's see. We stopped Arsenal winning the title.
They're still going on about that.
They are going on about that.
You can't put it down to that. You didn't beat Villa at home.
Yeah, exactly.
You lost to a poor Fulham team 2-1. West Ham, you lost at home to that one.
Exactly, Pete.
See, the fact is, if you won another one of those games, you could have won the title. But what happened? You didn't win those games as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Best game of the season. I can't go look past the PSG game, unfortunately, because look, I looked at that game when we first played them, and at the time I was optimistic. I said, I think on a pre-match show, we'll win this 2-1. That was my thought at the time. The reason I said that was because the previous game they played the team that were in the bottom three, a team called Clermont. Now, when they played Clermont, they only drew 0-0 with us. And that's a team that's in the relegation zone against a team that has all these superstars that have spent a lot of money on, including Mbappe, and they can't even beat a team in the bottom three called Clermont. Now, I thought, we've got a chance here. You know, we can beat these 2-1. Some people laughed at me and said, I don't think so. And I said, well, yeah. I said, you look at the last game, why couldn't they beat a team in the bottom three in France? You know, that could have had 5, 6, 7 or 8 written all over it for PSG, but instead they got a 0-0 draw. But to win a 4-1, I couldn't believe what I was seeing them fall in front of me, if I'm honest. It was just a fantastic night, fantastic game. Great to see Mbappe looking unhappy at the end of the game. Spoilt brat what he is.
Fact.
And I would never have that guy anywhere near Newcastle United. I don't care how good a player he is. I don't care how fast he is or whatever. I don't care. The simple reason I wouldn't have him anywhere near the club, he's got attitude issues. And if Real Madrid want him, you're bloody welcome to him. Because I tell you now, as soon as things don't go well, he'll spit his dummy out, like he did against us at St James's Park. What a disgrace he was that night, that we was walking around the pitch, you know, and he was basically saying we weren't meant to win that game or whatever. Well, I don't care what he thought, you know. PSG aren't entitled to it. You know, and obviously it was him and his teammates that helped rob us in that second game, the away game, because that was never a penalty in a month of Sundays. Even UEFA said it was never a penalty, but it was because Mbappe and his mates were making the mouths go at the referee, and VAR caved in, sent the referee to the monitor. But considering at the time, and I gave that referee at the time a lot of praise because I thought he'd handle that game well, considering he had been the World Cup referee and he had been the Champions League referee, and I thought he handled it really well until he went to the monitor. And I thought, he's going to look at this and say no penalty and carry on with the game. He caved in as well. He went down in my estimation. He went from a 10, because I was giving him a 10, the referee. He went straight down to 0. He lost that 10 within a couple of minutes because of that decision. That was never a penalty in a month of Sundays. Even the UEFA, you know, you look on UEFA's rules, if it comes off part of the body and hits the arm, it's never a handball. So, you know, it begs the question, was there a brown envelope shoved in the way of the referees? Who knows? Because that man, Khalifi, who owns PSG, isn't squeaky clean, as we all know. He has been up in court a few years ago for giving the FIFA executive, or the ex-FIFA chief executive, a 5 million euros villa in Sardinia in exchange for TV rights for the World Cup from 26 to 30. You know, so that man is not squeaky clean, and he got away with that. You know, so that's why I think something dodgy's happened. Brown envelopes have been passed to VAR and to the referee. If you get a decision, there you go. There's your money.
Yeah, fact. I'll do that straight away. I'll do that straight away because you're right, Tony. Everything you said, I can't add anything to add to that non-swarm, man. I can't add anything to it at all, man. I just can't, because you're so right. We got robbed of one of the best wins ever in the history of Newcastle United, and that decision has absolutely killed us.
Yeah.
So Lewis is stream signing. Xerxes, he's a good player for Bologna. Champions League as well, Bologna, by the way. Gibbs White, Theo, and Babayoko. And go on to Michael. People think. Firstly, we need to get rid of the placeholders. Miggy, Murphy can only be replaced if we do get someone in. Again, FFP, be realistic, guys. That's
Murphy, I keep as a squad player for next season.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And PSG is the game of the season easily. Go for the comments. I've got loads. Thanks so much indeed for that. Atlas is unreal. My best game will probably be the West Ham at home. No left the stadium 3-1 down. Do not ever leave the stadium until the 90th minute. Anything can happen. There is fees each, and you were buzzing. PSG LM67 had a blinder. He did. He did. And not sure you're tickling me too, Jordy. That's the Jops. Hi to Jops, by the way. PSG game, we were on fire that night. We were. And second, Tottenham gave us the best. They wanted so hard, give them the payback, and also due to in his shirts as well. Big up Michael, by the way. And go on to some more. Best scoring of the season, Sheffield United, 8-0 away from home. Fat. And Lewis, no caps in me chat, mate. I do apologise. I mean, Mum Fossey should be here. Well, she should have been here, but I think she might be a bit busy later. That's just fair enough. And I've got mods in the room anyway, so thanks very much as well. And Jim Don Party, I'll get your message, Lewis, but thank you very much indeed. I think Newcastle will sign maybe 5 in the summer. You just don't know with FFP rules how much is able to be used. Hope we use these 2-3 which Master Hell. So Torsten, according to Tony, I think he'll turn us down. Kelly could be a possibility. Never mind the end of the game. At the start of the game, Mbappe was looking around like, what's the F? I tell you what, he was shocking the first game. To be fair, he wasn't that better than the second game either. And
I think he's just hyped up too much at times. I think he's far too hyped up at times, and I think if people don't do a job on him, that's why he runs games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look at the World Cup, when, yes, we should have beat France in that World Cup quarter-final, you know, when Kane should have scored his second penalty. But in that game against England, Mbappe was quiet. He was a spectator in that game because you just got to do a job on him. You know, just keep him quiet. That's it. But when you give him the freedom to play, it just looks like he's a hell of a player.
Yeah, that absolutely. And we were brilliant that day as well. That's all you got to do. Frustrate him. That's exactly what he's done. I mean, I thought back four was great that day as well.
Mm-hmm.
And might have had Mbappe in his pocket and he's shot in the jobs. For me, it's PSG 4-1 win. Second beat by the Mackhams, of course. You can't imagine the name Jobs. Well, that's on Lorraine. Let's go to more. Mbappe didn't shake any player's hand. I've seen that. That's poor form by the French international. Very, very poor form by the French captain as well. And what do I play at the total man? Yeah, that was absolutely robbery that night. Absolutely disgusting decision. The players gave it everything. We were screwed over. I was there. And I tell you what, I couldn't believe it. I had a PSG fan stood next to us with me and said, good English as well. That was never a penalty. We were robbed. And I said to him, mate, you're correct. 4-1 PSG, 4-1 Tottenham. Finals 2 against.
Oh, Mackhams has got to be definitely up there as well.
Got to be up there, man.
Who
yes.
put the ball in the Mackhams net? Who put the ball in the Mackhams net? Put the ball in the Mackhams net. Alexander Isak.
Beautiful. Where's your Europe? That's the name. It's your team. It's your team, my guy. It's your team. I bet you it's Man United. I bet you it's Man United. And it wouldn't be surprised.
What a name. Just calling themselves name.
Yeah. Say your proper name if you can. Rich name on did a banger. It begins with all the jobs as well. They're chatting to each other, which is cool. I mean, Mbappe was looking around like, what's the F? The atmosphere's electric. Couldn't cope with the atmosphere that day. And you would have thought he can do anything as well. He was still in Champions League with 30 minutes to go. Final game. Given the group, we would have looked at that start. Started well. Bosh. And we just got Europe all together. And Mbappe definitely needs that management system 100% correct as a Michael. And my favourite game when you beat us as a United fan, Man U fan.
Yes,
typical as well. So if Oki marks out a 10 for the manager for the whole of the season, well, we should have done player ratings as well. We're doing the week. So I'm Pete. Eddie, how many marks out of 10 would you give this guy for the whole of the season?
So we just missed out on Europe, but in a way he's had to put players in that when he's had a use of the players when other big players have been out injured. So, what could he give for Eddie? It's a tough one. Oh, wow. I think I'm going to have to give Eddie a 6 because we've missed out on Europe.
Fair enough. Lorraine gives Eddie a 6 out of 10. Tawny, I know you're quite strong about this.
Yeah, look, as I say, when we finished 7th last week, we were in a potential European spot.
Yeah.
And while it was nice to finish there, I didn't get too excited. Well, one, I haven't been well all week anyway, so I can't get too excited. But two, I just had this nagging doubt, and I just had this in the back of my head all week, thinking, you know, I can see Man United beating City in the final, and people are saying to me, like messaging people and that, and saying, "Oh no, don't be daft. There's no way City's getting beat off Man United. No chance." And I'm like, it just wouldn't surprise me if Man U pull something out of the hat and win that game. And I called it right. They did win that game. As much as I didn't want them winning that game.
And unfortunately, they deserved it as well. Man City just never turned up at all.
No.
Where was the big players that needed to step on the take? Kevin De Bruyne, he didn't look like he looked interested. Foden had a stinking game.
Yeah.
Holland barely got any service. A lot of those top players were really poor. The best player for them, for Man City yesterday, was Doku when he came on in the second half.
Yeah.
That's the only player I think that stood out for Man City. Walker didn't have a bad game, but the defence, Jesus, wet.
Yeah.
John Stones tried everything for them, but Ake was terrible yesterday.
Yeah.
Akanji sort of helped things out with John Stones when he came on, but I mean, look, that Man City team yesterday, it looked like they were either on the beach or wanting to get the Euros or Copa America or whatever it was, because look, they did not look interested. Yes, Kel Walker done his best. I mean, he had a couple of shots saved. Alvarez should have scored. He missed an absolute sitter, in my opinion. The shot from Doku that got pushed in the net by Onana, that was just classic Onana having a great game and then all of a sudden making a mistake. But yeah, I mean, look, going back to the Eddie Howe, look, at the end of the day, it's not been the best season. The club obviously going to do an investigation into why we've had all these injuries this season, and rightly so. Is it the medical team? Is it the scientists, the sports scientists? Is it Eddie Howe? Oh, is it Eddie Howe? Is it the training methods? So, they're going to look into all that. But look, I agree with Pete. I can't give Eddie Howe any lower than a 6, considering we're finished in the top half of the table, which, okay, it's not the progress like the season before, but yeah, the fact we finished 7th, considering the injuries we've had, there is games that we should have won, obviously, and we would have probably finished in the European spot. But you know what, all in all, yeah, I said for a while I'll take 7th all day long, and that's exactly where we finished. So 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'll go clean sweep, guys. 6 out of 10. The reasons exactly you said, guys, because look, at the end of the day, right, and there's games you should have won, and there's games, I mean, tactically as well, we got a few things wrong, and that's what I say. So I'll go give 6 out of 10 as well. I was just going to go straight in 6 out of 10. And gave it an 8 out of 10. Lorraine and said 6. Mick said 6.5 as well. So Tony, 1 out of 10. And namely, just going names well. Every time we're going underdogs, we always found a way. And in all fairness, he said, we get you up in football next season. Let's go for the comments before we wrap up the show, guys. I know Pete's got a show going in. Eddie Howe's done fine, given injuries, acceptable Liverpool previous seasons. Why is Howe not giving that grace? That is the thing. Even though we go into we go to the Conference League. There are 2 legs playoffs of August 22nd, 29th before going to the group stage. Just let that Chelsea team enjoy it this time. That's Hang Loom. Big up to you, my guy. Hope you're well. Welcome to GSTV. And good luck in as well. 9 out of 10 for Eddie. Couldn't disagree more. If you take account of all the injuries, the record we have broken the season with the depleted squad, the kids, we were still dangerous. Michael, you're entitled to your opinion, man. 9 out of 10. Cool.
He's made a carry point as well.
Yeah, he has indeed. He has indeed. Simple as that. So fair play to him. Big up to Martin. Big up to Martin as well. Big even as a John. Love John, enthusiasm of Newcastle. Thank you very much indeed, man. All it is, right, Mark, just what was best for Newcastle United, yeah. I've got to say it how it is. I've got to call it how it is as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm not being negative. I'm just saying it how it is, what I see. But at the end of the day, some people don't want to say it, are scared of saying it, but we're not scared of saying it on our channel. We just call it out there.
Yeah, that's it.
And we don't flip and flop neither. But at the end of the day, right, if you say it how it is and speak the truth, then people will respect us. Yeah, that is the thing. I've been called Happy Clapper a couple of weeks ago, right? And I didn't quite like that. So I thought, you know what? People say you can criticize. Don't be soft. Yeah. Cynical Jim, Man City is still, you know what? A lot of teams had injuries. We still should have been Luton twice, Everton, etc. Injuries. Our in season was a failure. Probably harsh, but true. Tony, you just call it how it is, mate, right? And ignore what the haters say. You know what I mean?
This tweet that's been put out, John, I totally agree with this, right? And this is so true about our club as well. This is exactly how far we are off elite teams. Man City have just covered the fee for Savio with £20 million for Harwood Bellis, who has now been triggered because Southampton got promoted. And they've also got £5 million for Tommy Doyle. We may not even get more than 15 million quid for Fraser, Jamal Lewis, Isaac Hayden, and Kel Watts. That just proves, you know. I mean, that's at the beginning of the season. I would like to have seen Harwood Bellis come to Newcastle United because I think he's a terrific centre half, and you know he's just a youngster, 20 years of age, 21, 22. He was part of that Euro squad that won. Well, he was the captain of that Euro squad that won it last year when Anthony Gordon was player of the tournament. But it's facts there, John. The facts are in front of you. You know, they've sold an academy player, but don't forget, because they've sold Bellis and Tommy Doyle for 25 million combined, that's 100% profit.
I'm with you.
2 homegrown players.
Absolutely.
I'm with you, man. You're absolutely right. Again, you talked about I said between 8 and 10 players should be on their way. Yeah, I forgot to add Jamal Lewis, Isaac Hayden.
Yeah, they need to leave as well.
And Kel Watts as well. So they need to be gone as well.
Good, we didn't give Kel Watts a chance, I must admit, to be honest.
I know it's a shame, really, because he might have made it under Eddie Howe. You just never know. Now, people having a go at me today saying that 8 to 10 people, how are you going to do that? That's proof the point. 8 people can go if you scrape it, or you can pay them off as well. So I think I would apologize on social media as well if you're watching this. We didn't deserve to go and get to Europe this season or next season. We shouldn't be relying on Man City. I could personally see both Isaac Bruno leaving this summer. I wouldn't blame him. Sean, I don't think they'll be going, mate. I don't think they'll be leaving, but I could understand your concerns as well. Docky's amazing. I wish he'd play for us. He's bloody nuts. He's a good player. Man City just folded up yesterday. They didn't show up, didn't they? Top 3 and win a cup next season. I think there's a lot of hard work, Mick. There's a lot of work to be put in as well. Since we were terrible, why could they be that bad when we played them? Exactly. And that wraps up in any minute. Now, I would give Eddie a 5 out of 10 for sticking to the 60-minute mark and making changes instead of making changes at half-time, lads. You know what? If it was my way and they didn't perform, I'll make a change before half-time. Real talk. Yeah.
Villa have slapped a price tag on Philip Coutinho. £6 to £8 million or open to a loan deal.
Wow.
He's a forgotten man. He's a forgotten man of football.
And that's come from Rudy Galletti.
Bloody hell.
Oh, don't listen to that guy. That guy just loves to wind our fans up. Yeah. It should be.
£6 to £8 million.
No chance. You can get a free players for that much as well. Sometimes
He's not that
just
good now, is he, though? Philip
That,
Coutinho.
he was brilliant for Liverpool,
terrible.
man. When did Barca, he lost his way. Real talk. I don't think anyone. Lorraine is lovely. Lovely Lorraine, if you're here. And hi, John, and hi, Barbara. Hope you're well. Such a shame we didn't make Europe. Only got ourselves to blame, then, Barb. Only got ourselves to blame. Would you have taken Conference League? Yes, I would. I'll be honest with you, I would, because I would be in European football as well. And Sirius said, told us a bit harsh, 1 out of 10. Ten Hag, returned by marriage, Haaland, Foden, KDB. That's how they won. I'll tell you what, he got a masterclass from Ten Hag, masterclass.
Yeah, he did.
And yes, it's still Europe. John looks like he's ready for his holidays. Martin, 2 months' time, I'll be in Japan. Land of the rising sun. And I hope Chelsea get kicked out of Europe. I don't think he will. I really do ratings, so I'll probably get Eddie a 9. The injuries has been horrendous. That's from Ian. Well, that's a relief. I was trying to be funny and never wanted to offend. 6 out of 10 from Eddie. I'll give Hal a 10 for giving us 3 points. He's a big United fan. Like Haaland, vastly overrated. Scores pens, but that's it. And he's lazy. In all the time I follow Newcastle, I've never seen an injury crisis like this. Facts, Ian, facts. Yes. A great show tonight, John Tony Pete said, everyone, don't forget to hit the thumbs on the way out for me. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. I appreciate that. Thank you. 5 out of 10 for me. Team selection substitutions, not willing to use the young players who were great in the pre-season. And if there's worse, please inform me. If you can buy Doku for 100 mil, I'd do it. The bloke will pop a bomb. He only gets better too. I love what I see from this guy. Do you know what it is? He's brilliant. He's a good player. Great show, guys. Thanks, Ian. City were not P. United were a better side who would have been subbing on Tuesday. Yet Fats. Happy clapper. Listen to man. You
Chelsea are to meet with Hazavi.
Chelsea what?
Chelsea are looking to meet Xavi with terms of becoming their manager.
Ooh.
Wow. Very, very interesting, man. Very interesting. If you're happy and, clap your hands. Don't listen to what people call you, John. Yeah, facts. I'm going to get it as well, because especially if you're a YouTuber, you are going to get the rough as well. Get used to it, man. Just smile. Don't forget to hit those likes. Thank you very much indeed. Ian, appreciate that. To blame Eddie for injuries, it's just silly, though. That's what Ian, literally said. Injuries has been freak injuries. Are you blaming Eddie for inbounds? Nah, not at all. Not at all. So silly, we get you. Post shoulder is Eddie's fault. Dan Burns back's Eddie's fault. Nowhere near Man City level tournament. Not fair compared. Wait till a few, yeah. Yeah, we get you in. We get you. Everyone's own opinion should be respected. We're all different. Lorraine, fat. Absolute fat. I'll tell you what, Lee Gunner will love you as well, by the way. Tom's on the side. We finally have ownership, so are going to go on Newcastle brand. We need those for FFP. Patience, pride, and perseverance is the key. Won't be too long now. Man City had 10 years for FFP. No wonder the miles in front of us. I agree. And apparently, you only got 1.5 for the Aussie trip and not the reported £3 million.
What? Bloody hell.
Hey,
that's Lorraine.
My new TV come today for next season, so I can watch the games, big TV. And when I opened the box, I found no leads.
Ooh.
What's that, Tony? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I bought a new TV to watching the games on, for like next season, Euros and all that. But when I was to watch the Premier League next season, I bought a bigger TV and opened the box and found no leads.
Wow. Very
She's not get it.
Oh.
Yeah. No. Oh, love it, man. Bosh. No leads there.
Took you a while to get that one.
Oh God.
I don't fell on my seat, man. Yes. Big up, Tony. Well done, you. And let's talk with you today. Greece also had subs at 65 min. They were wondering if there's something in the manager's contract to make subs at that time. Okay. Ian's chatting to Lorraine. And come on, guys. Thank you, David. I think Howell is 8 out of 10 for the season for me. That's some jobs. That's it, guys. Going to wrap the show there because I know Pete's got a show very, very soon. and Lee loves that as well. But it's good to collab as well. We can share the streams to each other as well.
Yeah, we
can.
can.
If you watch Pete's, if you go on Pete's channel on the Food Pick Show, you can share that as well. Tony got his own channel as well. Share the stream as well if you get an invite as well. And we've got one here that I slowed up update, Tony. We were a bit, and I do apologize for that. Bob, I'm watching you guys on my new 75 Smart TV. Bosh. Thank you, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Wow.
I've got 65. I've got a 65-inch TV. I got that a couple of years ago. Actually, I was really annoyed because was when we were playing Chelsea, when we beat Chelsea 1-0, like that game I was on about. And I got a 65-inch Hisense TV, and I was waiting for it being delivered, and I thought, oh, this would be great because I can watch the game tonight. Not that I couldn't, because I had me 55-inch up at the time, but thankfully I didn't take that down off the wall. And I thought, oh, this delivery's not here yet, and I'm watching, and the game's starting in about 15 minutes. And just before the game started, EO turns up. Oh, we've got your TV. Oh, yeah. Couldn't you have brought this a couple of hours earlier, and I could have had it on the wall? But so I just had to put up the next morning. But yeah, but no, I, you know, you're waiting on all day for a delivery, and you think, oh, they'll be there really, and they don't turn up till bloody just about kickoff.
Strange. Get you, man. Let's go wrap up the show though, guys, because it's long overdue. And thanks so much for coming on the chat as well. It's been fantastic. And the guys, amazing. And Pete, so we can find out what you got coming up, my guy, and what you got coming up next few.
Channel down there, PD Proudlock, 8 o'clock, final Keep or Sell Part 2, where we'll me and Mason go through on who we think needs to stay at the club and who needs to go out that door.
Wow. Fantastic. Do check on the channel as well. 8 o'clock it starts as well. And Tony, where could we find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me on my channel behind me. It's All Black and White TV. Also find me on Twitter, and it's All Black and White TV. I'm on Twitch as well. I'm on Threads. I'm on Facebook. Well, I am on Facebook, but I can't stream there no more because Facebook don't allow it now. Obviously, you can see me on the YouTube as well. So I'm pretty much everywhere. And I will have some shows coming up this week. But I also will have the Euros coming up as well. So I will be doing nightly shows at 10 p.m. at night, where I'll be doing a roundup of the Euros games of the day, like I did in the World Cup. And that actually went quite well when I did in the World Cup, and people quite enjoyed that. So I'm doing it for the Euros as well. Obviously, come on England, you know, it's our best chance to win the Euros as far as I'm concerned. And wouldn't surprise me if Gareth Southgate goes out on a high. And I really hope he does.
Hope so does. Hope he does.
With the players we've got at our disposal, it wouldn't surprise me if Anthony Gordon turns out to be player of the tournament. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? You know, but yeah. So I've got shows coming up in that. And now I'm fit again, and I'm getting better now. So you know, this afternoon my appetite started to come back a bit more, which is good. Means I'm eating now, so that's a good thing to me. To say that I'm on the mend now, so that my appetite's come back. You know, instead of looking at food and thinking, oh, I can't be eating anything. So thankfully, my appetite's on its way back, which means I'm getting better, which is fantastic. As I said on my show earlier, I apologised, and I said on Pizza last night, I apologised to all my viewers that I had nothing on last week. But I just did not have any energy to do any shows whatsoever last week. But I'm back now. And I ain't going anywhere. So I just want to say people who did send me messages worrying, asking if I was all right, because people were obviously thinking, why is he not doing any shows for? And it was because of that reason.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I want to say thank you to the people who had that concerns as well.
Fantastic stuff. The link is in the title as well, and do follow Pete and Tony on Twitter as well, and you know the channel as well. Geordie, disappointed lads, no, but always move on. Our attack this year is mouth watering as well. Thank you, Michael, and thank you for your first time coming on my channel as well. Appreciate that, and sub as well. Those City all rivals are useless. Can't beat this clown United. Fair enough. This is the thing. That's why we haven't got European football as well. So, guys, that's a good wrap of the show there, guys. It's been really fantastic. And again, Everyone say get well soon, Tony, as well. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got a special show tomorrow, 6 o'clock tomorrow, and it's with Alice Abrams, big Man United fan, biggest YouTuber out there. Join us for that, guys. I really appreciate if you did. And make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, have a fantastic evening and a real lads.